Travis Wayne Goodsall. Investigating the Book of Mormon. We get Joseph Smith's introduction, where he says, it is an abridgment of the record of the people of Nephi, and also of the Lamanites. And so the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints tells its members that they go on missions as teenagers to tell people, spread the word, that the Book of Mormon is literal history because of that. Fiction novels also write as if they are literal histories, but clearly they're not, because there are indicators in there that it is fiction, not just that it's sold as fiction or sci-fi, which, Galaxy Quest, historical documents, must be true. Must be true. But we have this line by Joseph Smith, written by way of commandment. By the spirit of prophecy and revelation. Oh, it's not literal history. If it is a prediction of the future, it is not literal history. If it is a calendar date and clock time of the future predictions, it's not literal history. The Book of Mormon itself would tell you this. 2 Nephi chapter 25, verse 1, it's using the prophecies of Isaiah, also named Jesus, about IMMANUEL, the Jewish Christ, with calendar date and clock times. So we start reading the Book of Mormon. We understand that this is now not literal history, that these are all fictional characters of prophecy, prediction of the future, and calendar date and clock times should be involved here. So the first one we come across is in verse 4. For it came to pass in the commencement of the first year of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah. He is a literal history character. We do have multiple documents confirming his existence in reality. And I'm not talking about the Bible. I'm talking about archaeology, science. So we know that Zedekiah is an actual historical character. We know that the one and only thing that William Foxwell Albright got right in his career was 597 BCE for the first year. But this is not literal history. This is not the calendar date and clock time that we should be focused on. This is in the future. So we are told about a character named Lehi, who's a prophet, who predicts the future. And they're using the context of the coming destruction of Babel or Jerusalem. 9th Ave, 586 BCE. Historical, but not historical in the Book of Mormon. So, we keep reading. He has a vision. Not a literal history. a vision, like a dream, not literal history. And so he's a prophet, and now he's a seer. We see that he's a translator of Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian. Verse 2. Mosiah chapter 1 verse 4 confirms this, that he knows Egyptian. Also in Mormon chapter 8, that Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian is involved. So Lehi is a prophet, is a seer, is a translator. He then has another vision, and this time he is given a calendar date and a clock time from Revelation chapter 12, verses 1, 2, and 5, and the Joseph Smith translation of that, of verses 1 to 3. Verse 5 gets moved to verse 3. And then there's some additional text that is added to help illustrate prophecy, revelation, future prediction, calendar date, clock time of the future prediction. This is the first year. If only we had a Urim and Thummim. Nonetheless, we'll assume you don't. That you would know that it's also from Isaiah, Jesus, in chapter 6, verse 1, and in chapter 7, verses 13 and 14. The same prediction of the future, the same calendar date and clock time. Hey, that's also plagiarized in the Book of Mormon, errors and all. Verse 9. Remember, it's Egyptian. Remember, Isaiah is talking about Immanuel, from which this comes from. And Lehi sees in his vision the sun god at noonday. Who could that be? Egyptian, remember? Paleo-Hebrew, remember? From Isaiah. This is Immanuel. Who is he in Egyptian? Immanuel. It's transliterated from Egyptian. The Egyptian sun god at noonday. Amen. Of the Amen priesthood. See how much is packed into this first chapter that I've had to keep repeating all these 8 years and 8.9K videos now. And Mormons still refuse to accept the Book of Mormon as true. We're not done yet. We're still, let's see, we got, one more to go. We have seer, prophet, revelator, translator. What's left? Ooh, what's left? Oaks, can you help us out with the keys that he's supposed to have? Yep. 1 Nephi chapter 2, verse 4. And it came to pass that Lehi had an exodus from Jerusalem to go to the promised land, to build the Zion temple. The keys of Moses. "600 years from the time of 597 BCE. Ooh, we got another calendar date and clock time coming. This would be 8 April 4 CE, which is exactly to the day 2020 years before 8 April 2024. See how we didn't need a Urim and Thummim for this? Revelation 19, verse 11 and 17. With the Lamb which, if you had a Urim and Thummim, you would be able to see the pretty picture in space. Because it's a solar eclipse of the sun god at noonday. So that you can't see anything else in the sky. Casting its shadow on the location of Earth where the prophecy is to occur. Wonder where it could be. Oh look, there were 3 over the United States of America, and they just happened to form the first and last letters of the Paleo-Hebrew script. Oh wait, there it is, in Isaiah, right before talking about the calendar date and clock time of the coming of the Jewish Christ, Emmanuel. Huh. So the first year is 2017. Because the 3 solar eclipses forming the Paleo-Hebrew script letter of the first and last. Technically it's all on the first anyway. 21st of August 2017, 14 October 2023, and then 8 April 2024. 3 days, 3 hours of darkness. All right here in the beginning of the Book of Mormon, in the first chapter with 1 verse in chapter 2. Without a Urim and Thummim, we had figured out most without a Urim and Thummim. With a Urim and Thummim, you would know that the dream vision from Revelation chapter 12, verses 1, 2, and 5 is the 23rd of September 2017. Knowing that, with your Urim and Thummim, you just go forward and you find out the verse 3 in the original Revelation is the 17th of December 2017, the 5th dark day of Hanukkah. And then verse 4, 2nd of January 2018, 10:01 p.m. Any Mormon knows what happened? I'll give you a hint. His birthday was on the 21st of August 2017. Ooh, Mormon. Wait a minute. The Book of Mormon is for Mormons. And it's a prophecy in Revelation with predictions of the calendar date and clock times of Revelation for Mormons. Huh. We know it's connected to John because where are you? Come on. The Apostle of the Lamb, where are you? 14, oh, there it is. So, yeah, Nephi's having his tree of life vision about the great and abominable church founded by the devil against the church of the Lamb. Which church is this again that's being referred to? Mormons are being told there are only two churches. One is of the inverted pentagram of Lucifer. The other church is Jewish. Wonder who they could be talking about. And so we get to 20. After talking about the book of Revelation, and then if he already hasn't talked about the stumbling block of the Bible that was created, which is a dualistic prophecy of the great and abominable church in the future, not the historical past, we have the angel talking to Nephi, saying, "Behold, one of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Behold, he shall see," vision, "and write the remainder of these things," of the coming of the future great and abominable church that will destroy and have polygamy and massive hoarding of wealth, with the inverted pentagram of Lucifer, the founder. He will write the remainder of these things, yea, and also many things which have been. And he shall also write concerning the end of the world. Wherefore the things which he shall write are just and true. And behold, they are written in the book, which thou beheld proceedeth out of the mouth of the Jew. Except there were two different Jews who wrote the two parts of the book of Revelation. But the apocalypse part, yeah. And at the time they proceeded out of the mouth of the Jew, or at the time the book proceeded out of the mouth of the Jew. Jews are not Christians, in case you're confused. They don't believe in Jesus, they believe in IMMANUEL. The things which were written were plain, pure, and most precious. Ever catch me doing a video where I quote that? That's the only one place in all of Scripture where it's found. And easy to the understanding of all men. And then this great and abominable church comes along and screws it all up. And behold, the things which this apostle of the Lamb shall write are many things which thou hast seen, and behold, the remainder shalt thou see. But the things which thou shalt see hereafter thou shalt not write, for the Lord God hath ordained the apostle of the Lamb of God that he should write them. Oh no, how do we get them? Oh look, good, they did refer to the book of Revelation in the footnotes, but to the earlier ones. Revelation 1. Maybe Revelation 4. Who did these footnotes, Bruce R. McConkie? And also others who have been, to them hath he shown all things. You know, like Isaiah, aka Jesus. They have written them, and they are sealed up to come forth in their purity according to the truth. Oh, so they're concealed, huh? And need to be unsealed. Huh. So it has to do with Mormons, does it? According to the truth which is in the Lamb, in the own due time of the Lord. So when he comes, 23rd of September 2017, he will begin to do YouTube videos to explain to Mormons the prophecies and calendar dates and clock times of those future predictions. And his surname would be IMMANUEL, huh? Unto Mormons, the house of Israel. And I, Nephi, heard and bear record that the name of the apostle of the Lamb was John, aka Dove, that raped Mary, a 14-year-old girl in the Roman period of time. Don't worry, it was immaculately conceived. So says the First Creed. Book of Mormon would correct that by turning it literal history. Now Heavenly Father came from the planet Kolob to his 14-year-old daughter in the Roman period of time and raped her. Big difference. Big difference. So I don't understand why Christians don't consider Mormons Christian. Okay? So in case you needed confirmation, and it comes from Revelation, that the dates are very plain, pure, and most precious. Oh, there I go. So, knowing about Revelation 19, as we just exposed it for you, the Exodus year is supposed to be 2020. So now we can go to 3rd Nephi, chapter 11. All missionaries know this. They present them with the Book of Mormon and take them straight here. See, Jesus! Isaiah! There he is! There's Isaiah! With sign in Paleo-Hebrew being the first and last letters for the 21st of August 2017, 14 October 2023, and 8 April 2024, and 600 years from 8 April 4 CE is 2020 for the Exodus year. Man like Moses, seer, prophet, revelator, translator of Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian. Isaiah, of whom the sign had been given concerning his death, solar eclipses. 8 April 2024. So the 30 and 4th year in 3rd Nephi chapter 11 is 2024. So no, it is not literal history of Jesus coming from outer space without a spaceship and without a space suit and without the flying white horse. Whom Anna Kendrick's boyfriend shot down and murdered. You don't need that kind of a boyfriend, Anna. was a close call. And so, even though this is not part of the topic of the video, 3 Nephi chapter 7 is 2020, that Exodus year. Now behold, I will show unto you that they did not establish a king. So wait. Book of Mormon is a prophecy of the future. Calendar date, clock times. 2017 is the first year of Zedekiah on the throne over the United States of America. I don't think we want to speculate as to who that could be. Trump. And so here we are in 2020. And yeah, we had an election then too. He was not supposed to become king. Oh no. He was supposed to lose the election in 2020? Oh wait, he was supposed to be assassinated? Holy crap! In the same year, yea, the 30th year, they did destroy upon the judgment seat, yea, did murder the chief judge of the land, which was Trump, from 1 Nephi chapter 1, verse 4. Huh. Oh, he did get creeping death, didn't he? Creeping death, where does that come from? It comes from somewhere. Metallica, that's where it comes from. I mean, maybe it's just because I have a Urim and Thummim and you don't. But still, like I said, you didn't need it. You could have figured this out on your own if you had the research tools, you know, like, say, an internet search capability. Because as a kid, I didn't have any of that. I had to go searching through books that I had to buy to find the research to decipher Paleo-Hebrew. Because William Foxwell Albright couldn't do it correctly. Dear God. And so, yeah. Oh. The people of the United States of America were divided one against another and did separate one from another into tribes or a national divorce. Biden is not our president. We secede. Yeah, what happened? This didn't happen. There were calls for it. Trump almost was assassinated. Trump did lose. He claims he didn't. Mitt Romney almost was assassinated on live TV. What would the press have done on that one? How would they have stopped the cameras? We see on the camera Mitt Romney being chased down and caught, dragged out to the gallows that was supposed to be for Mike Pence. Oh, they put the rope around his neck. They're all chanting in unison. I sent him a letter warning him in advance, and he didn't listen to me. Didn't listen. And thus the federal government of the land was destroyed. And the regulations of the federal government were destroyed because of the secret combination of the friends and the descendants of those who murdered Joseph and Hiram. So Cox, Stewart, Curtis, Mendenhall, Lee, Amazing how the Book of Mormon is so true, isn't it, Mormons? Amazing how it's so true with just a little bit of reading and a little bit of understanding what you're reading. Getting rid of all that Christian crap. I mean, seriously, you read synagogue and you go, Christian? Jesus? And you don't catch how they turned it into Christian with the Great Spirit Pumpkin Jesus. All of the villains of the story worship Jesus. And you can't figure out that the Book of Mormon is not another testament of Jesus. So, yeah. Joseph Smith helps Mormons out in case you can't figure it out on your own. In section 107, 2 through 4. What do you know? IMMANUEL. Shh. Don't repeat it. It's okay to repeat Jesus. Just don't repeat IMMANUEL. But yeah, it was successful. You didn't know that was the name, did you? Stay away from verse 22. That's how the church was supposed to have succeeded Joseph Smith upon his assassination by Willard Richards and John Taylor. So we then go down to 91 and 92. Joseph Smith makes it very clear for you who your Christ is. And again, the duty of the president of the office of the high priesthood is to preside over the whole church and to be like unto Moses. See, even Jesus wasn't the president of the 12. With the case of Peter. Even Peter didn't even succeed Jesus when he died. Nope. The brother of Jesus, named Jacob, did. Acts chapter 15. So yes, Joseph explains in the Doctrine and Covenants passage that the rock upon which the church is built is the gospel, not a man. The keys of Peter, dear God. Behold, here is wisdom. Yeah. 1 Nephi chapter 14 also goes over that and explains it for you. Or it's actually the one in 3 Nephi, that Isaiah guy tells the Nephites that howbeit my church, if it is not called in my name, and so you have to name it in his name, otherwise if it's the church of Moses, it's the church of Moses. If they are built upon my gospel. So yeah, you can have a false Christ, a false prophet, claiming the name, but then it's not even the gospel. Sort of like Lucifer's gospel instead. Taking away agency, holding Mormons in bondage, forcing them to pay, commit sex crimes. You know, it's a good thing the Book of Mormon is false. Joseph Smith is false, because certainly the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is true, right, Mormons? So therefore the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith are false. And so sure enough, as the head of the church, he is a seer a revelator, a translator, not footnoted. How'd you miss this one, Bruce? What's up? You even put a footnote on gifts and a prophet. At least you footnoted it correctly to section 103, verse 16. But you've deceived Mormons into thinking this is Joseph, risen from the zombie apocalypse grave. Verse 15, for the context, this is the latter day Zion in the millennium. I wonder when that would be. Seriously, what the hell's taking so long? What happened in 2020? It's not like I haven't been doing any videos about it since last November when it got leaked. Right, Oaks? Therefore I will raise up unto Mormons a man who shall lead Mormons like as Moses, the Jewish Christ, Emmanuel. So why didn't you footnote this, Bruce, to Deuteronomy 18, verses 15 through 19? That's who it is. It's right there in the text. The obvious one to footnote it to, and you missed it? Just because it's the Jewish Christ and not Isaiah. For Mormons are the children of Israel and the seed of Abraham and must needs be led out of bondage. Wait a minute. Well, Joseph Smith is false, so yeah, Mormons aren't in bondage. They aren't yoked to Jesus. I warned you I was going to do it. You knew I was going to do it. You were pushing me to do it. I told you, don't push me to do it. I'll do it. You know I can do it. You thought you knew better. You thought you were smarter. Stable genius. I've got more. They're coming. Because you are being an ass and not leaving me alone. So all you had to do was leave me alone, and then I won't get these inspirations for these other things. You never get it. You think I'm false, and then I keep proving you wrong. As your fathers were led at first, even so shall the redemption of Zion be. So, if it were properly footnoted to Deuteronomy, then we'd know that, oh, Joseph Smith also explains this again for us. In the 1838 history, tampered by Willard Richards. The one who shot Joseph in the back and dumped his body out the window. And so what do you know? We have Malachi, Nephi, quoting the 11th chapter of Jesus, saying it was about to be fulfilled. Wonder what that says. Yeah, it's about Joseph and this Mormon guy. And then he quotes the 3rd chapter of Acts. Oh, wait a minute, that's not Deuteronomy. Precisely as it stands in our New Testament. Don't check it, though. Shh, don't do it. Don't do it. Come on, don't do it. I told you not to do it, and you went and did it. You never read the scriptures. Why are you reading them now? Just to spite me? And so that prophet, a man like Moses, is Christ. But the day had not yet come. It's not Joseph. When Mormons who will not hear his voice and come to his channel only to put a thumbs down, a hate comment, and a death threat should be cut off precisely as it stands in the New Testament, utterly destroyed. Oops, I wasn't supposed to. You checked anyway, so what did it matter? And so then Joel, sun shall be darkened, moon turned to blood, stars fall from heaven, visions and dreams. 28th to the verse to the last. Not yet come. So yeah, Urim and Thummim. Second vision is exact same pattern match with Lehi in 1 Nephi chapter 1. So yeah, sun god at noonday appears to Joseph. It's Immanuel. That's why it's Nephi, because that's his new name. May 6th, 1989, in the Temple of Angels, where he goes to the tops of the mountains and has a vision of a bee hovering over his head, sleeping on the rocks. Visions. Top of the mountain, full moon, riverbed, and Father Amen the bridge to get across the river is over here. Thanks, Dad. You still haven't apologized for burning my tongue on the hot burning coal. Anybody know your book of Jasher? Hilarious. Hilarious. So yes, if you hadn't caught on, he's going to be the same as Joseph Smith. The man like Moses, seer, prophet, revelator, translator of Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian. So, Mosiah, chapter 8. I'm going to have to upload this tomorrow. I've got the news video to still do tomorrow. Oh my God, it got worse. Tyler is in need of rescue. Oh my hell, it got worse. Dear God, he's been framed and blamed. And they're just botching it bigly. Nothing is going right. Oh my hell. They have no case, and yet they're still pushing forward. Oh my hell, this is going to get worse. And everybody knows they botched it. Everybody just, oh my God. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Hey, these people were in bondage and were freed by Ammon. And what do you know? They had engravings on pure gold. But they don't know how to translate it correctly. 116 plates, you say? 24 this time. Oh, dear God. It's right here for you guys, and you all mess it. So this was Child Faith. He was asking for greater insight on this one years ago. Where are you? Are you still around? Or are you in the Philippines now, or in Russia, or wherever you are in the world now? What happened to you? Are you still studying your Book of Mormon? So starting in verse 12, King Limhi asks Ammon, I say unto thee again, knowest thou of anyone who can translate these plates? Gold plates, not golden. Gold for the Yorkites, Knights Templar, came to America with gold Egyptian treasure plates, buried them in the caves in southern Illinois where X marks the spot. For I am desirous that these records should be translated into our language, for perhaps they will give us a knowledge of the remnant of the Mormons who would be destroyed for not listening to their Christ, from whence these records came, or perhaps they will give us a knowledge of this very people who have been destroyed, and I am desirous to know the cause of their destruction. Oh, we all know that one, don't we now, Mormons? Oh, Travis. I told you, don't mess with me. Don't do it. Just be good. And you couldn't do it, could you? Now Ammon said unto them, I can assuredly tell thee, O king, of a man that can translate the records. So we got translator. We have the sun god at noonday. Where's the man like Moses? This is in Mosiah, chapter 8. Mosiah is a Paleo-Hebrew word. I have no clue what Mose and Yah would be in Paleo-Hebrew. Yeah, Moses and Yah, the Hebrew God. Or Yah Moses can also be, because he was the first king of the 18th dynasty, David Moseses. David Moses III was Armageddon 1 in the mountains, valley, and in the midst of the war, he put his foot on the Mount of Olives of Salem. Afterward, a temple and a palace was built, and all the kings with the title Solomon, King of Peace, with the sun god Ammon as their priesthood. So I'm sure that's just a coincidence. So we got Moses, we have the IMMANUEL, we have translator, and so Ammon tells Limhi, yep, he has wherewith that he can look and translate all records that are of ancient date. And it is a gift from God. And the things are called interpreters. Not Urim and Thummim? And no man can look in them except he be commanded. But I told you didn't need them in order to figure out the dates in the Book of Mormon to know when your Emmanuel is coming. Nonetheless, the parable of the 10 virgins you would need the Urim and Thummim for. I wonder if he did anything on that. Lest he should look for that he ought not, and he should perish. And whosoever is commanded to look in them, the same is called a seer. So, Idaho chick, I gave you the Urim and Thummim. Are you still called a seer, or is there a feminine version for it? Would it be seerot? No, because that's not the Paleo-Hebrew word. This is the translation of the Paleo-Hebrew word, which would be Ra. Peter in Egyptian. And so both of them could be Ra'ot in Paleo-Hebrew, and then Peterot in Egyptian. How are you doing on that, by the way? You figuring it out? You're not talking about it. You didn't throw it away, did you? And behold, the king of the people who were in the land of Zarahemla is the man that is commanded to do these things. Why don't you name him? Say the name! Well, it was the church, actually. I did that one already. This high gift from God. And the king said that a seer is greater than a prophet. Ammon said that a seer is a revelator and a prophet. Ta-da! There they are. The man like Moses, Emmanuel, seer, prophet, revelator, translator of Paleo, Hebrew, and Egyptian. Ta-da! You know of things past, present, and in the future. You can investigate a crime scene. Utah can't do. Oh my God. Oh my God, somebody save that boy. He is getting framed. Alright. So, Oliver Cowdery, to give you some extra information that I have never covered with you yet. So this is a reward for those who can endure and who didn't take the truth to be hard and were offended and left. No, Jesus is true. Section 28. Hiram Page is being a dumbass, thinking that he can just find himself his own rock and get revelations for the latter-day millennial Zion. If Joseph Smith were to concede and say, oh, I guess I got to follow you because, wow, you said it, it must be true. Or if other Mormons followed him and he branched off and formed his own church, they would have fallen. They would not have been able to maintain the religion. They would have turned it Christian or something like that. And never would have built Zion. They would have failed. Right, Brigham? Mm-hmm. Do or do not. Do not try. There is no try. Try not. I botched it. I don't quote. Don't quote. Don't memorize. No try. Do not, or do not. There is no try. Still, I don't. I have to watch it again. I have to watch it again. Those Jews going after the children of Seth lords. The Metachlorian count. So we're looking at September 1830. And already you have Hiram Page, who joined the church thinking that he can look in a rock and a hat. And when I was first told about this, they didn't say that Joseph had one. Even though word had already gotten out about Mark Hoffman. Oops. But it was before September 6th. And so, yeah, the way Bruce R. McConkie words it, Hiram Page, a member of the church, had a certain stone and professed to be receiving revelations by its aid concerning the upbuilding of Zion. No talk about Joseph having one. and the order of the church. Several members had been deceived by these claims. And even Oliver Cowdery was wrongfully influenced thereby. But he gave us Korihor and the true order of faith, that it leads to fruit. It's not just a spiritual witness. It feels so good. It must be true. I'm starving. How do I get fruit? Mormons, stop. Yeah, this is the new content for you. I've told you that Oliver Cowdery was a scribe for Sidney Rigdon, who was writing the Book of Mormon from Moses Yah. It is his doctrine in Mormon from his interpretation of Alexander Campbell's Baptist Campbellites. Because of the extra time they had, because Senior had to rewrite the 116 pages. And so Oliver Cowdery and Sidney Rigdon Sidney Rigdon knew of the original 116. He was supposed to branch off from it. The original 116 pages were given to Joseph Smith, and he was supposed to copy them, as he did, as he tells us he did, was copying the characters from the plates before Martin Harris arrived. So when Martin Harris arrived, Joseph is reading from the copy that he made from the original, so that Martin Harris is now making a second copy of the original. And it's the second copy that Martin Harris stole. So they had the original. They didn't lose that. They could have produced an exact copy of what was stolen. But Section 3 and Section 10 explain why they can't just reproduce it exactly as written by William Morgan and the Lodge of Joseph Smith Sr. in Canandaigua, New York. And so by Oliver Cowdery getting fooled by Hiram Page looking into a rock and a hat indicates that Oliver Cowdery did not know about the 116 pages and its origins from William Morgan. But Sidney did, because he's told to write the book from Mosiah on, that there's already initial pages. So Senior then in Section 10 says that there's going to be a rewritten 116 pages that'll then have a bridge to where Sidney Rigdon had already been starting off in Mosiah. And so Oliver Cowdery, even though he was also the son of William Cowdery, who was with Joseph Smith Sr. in the New Israelites, but not members, which was Jewish Kabbalism, indicate, because that's where the rod of Aaron of Oliver's comes from. And so Joseph, the rock and a hat. Justice Winchell, who joined the New Israelites, taught that extra stuff that the fathers knew wasn't going to make them rich. So they taught it to their boys as a kid's game. Nonetheless. But yeah, Oliver Cowdery leaves Joseph. Again, for the same reason here in Section 28. That he believes Hiram Page is version for the upbuilding of Zion in the order of the church, not Joseph's. And so he doesn't understand why the Book of Mormon is the way it is. That's what's clear from this. That's why he left in 1838 before the Danites went, hey, there's our in, to cause the war in 1838. Frame and blame Joseph for it and accuse him of child rape. Because Oliver Cowdery was upset that Joseph and Sidney were going in a direction as to how to build Zion in the order of the church. He again disapproved. That's why he left. And so when the Danites threatened David Whitmer, he left. Went and told Oliver Cowdery, the Danites told me that Joseph Smith changed the name of the church to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. What? How could he do that? That's awful. Hilarious. So yeah, very interesting that he was not let in. So only the people who knew was not even Hiram, because he is not made a translator. Joseph is a translator, not Hiram. But Senior clearly is a translator and the patriarch. And so only Senior, Junior, and Sidney Rigdon were in the inner circle of the big picture of what was going on. And that's why, when Sidney Rigdon died, his religion was turned Christian, because he never told to his dying day. He only wanted to be an overseer, because he knew he was not voted to become the president. You stayed away from verse 22, right? So, there you have it. Real simple doctrine, real simple authority, real simple prophecy, and the revelation that accompanies it. All without the need of a Urim and Thummim. But if you got the Urim and Thummim, through me, you can figure it out. Because Joseph in section 103, that was your decipherment clue. And likewise confirmed in the Joseph Smith translation of Revelation chapter 12, which we'll read that over for you. So, verse 1, the calendar date and clock times of the signs in the heavens are the future predictions on the earth. And then verse 7, the Virgo is Joseph's church. And so Joseph's church is in the future on the 23rd of September 2017 to give birth, the start of the ministry of the Mormon, who is the Christ. IMMANUEL, that's her name. And the sign of Isaiah is the full name of three names that he is prophesied to have. He who is from the crossroads of the Wagoner sun god at noonday. And wagon comes from Numbers. The princes of Israel, heads of the house of the fathers, who were the princes of the tribes, and were over them that were numbered, offered. And they brought their offering before the Lord, 6 covered wagons, and 12 oxen, unequally yoked to Jesus. A wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox, and they brought them before the tabernacle. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Moses took the wagons and the oxen and gave them to the Levites, and 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon. 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave unto the sons of Merari, according unto their service, unto the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. And then the Ezekiel guy also has wagons. Section 136. Oh, that's Brigham Young, the false accuser. So yeah, he tried to pretend to be the man like Moses with the wrong keys and no gifts, just the titles. Doesn't even claim translator. Alrighty. Simple, plain, pure, and most precious.